The movie Her is an American science fiction romantic drama film released in 2013, written, directed, and co-produced by Spike Jonze. It's Jonze's first original screenplay. The movie centers on Theodore Twombly, Joaquin Phoenix, a man who falls in love with Samantha, Scarlett Johansson, an artificially intelligent virtual assistant with a female voice. Actors Amy Adams, Rooney Mara, Olivia Wilde, and Chris Pratt are all featured in the movie. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, Movie Story. Today we'll be doing a recap of the movie Her. Before getting into our video, make sure to like and subscribe the video and subscribe to our channel to avoid missing updates. Spoiler alert ahead, folks. The first time you watch Her by Spike Jonze, it feels almost miraculous. It's disarming to watch its early sequences, in which Joaquin Phoenix openly professes his undying love for an unidentified soulmate. The actor exudes such a genuine sincerity and lacks the twisted quirkiness that characterizes the majority of the roles he performs. It feels like slipping into a cozy embrace. Then it becomes clear that the declaration wasn't made by him, but rather by his character, Theodore, who makes the statement as part of his employment. Director and screenwriter Jonze creates a seductive cinematic world that also begins to embrace the spectator as the film progresses, and the audience learns more about Theodore as an everyday guy. He checks his email on the way home from work, just like pretty much all of us these days. It quickly becomes apparent that Her is somewhat of a science fiction movie, set in the not-too-distant but clearly extraordinary future, due to the differences between Theodore's smartphone and its earpiece and ours. The extent to which director Spike Jonze conceived and created this futuristic Los Angeles, with its hazy skies, dazzling skyscrapers, effective mass transit system, and much more, contributes significantly to the film's attractiveness. The film's opening shows a utopian, technologically advanced Los Angeles in the not-too-distant future. In a setting where a contented, diverse population mill about, everything seems to be illuminated with a dreamy, dizzy kind of afternoon sunlight and lens flare, not unlike a Douglas Copeland-directed television commercial for Apple computers. She's a pretty unique piece of work that has garnered a ton of praise and inspired innumerable jokes about Siri, the voice of Apple's iPhone. Wishfully, I would like it more. It's clever, but also incredibly artificial. It is both endearingly self-aware and agonizingly self-conscious, wearing its coolness on its sleeve. Though the movie appears brand new, its heartfelt conclusion is as old as the hills. There are some wonderful times. As the egregiously named Theodore Twombly, a lonely man with an unsightly mustache and glasses who wears the high-waisted pants that have seemingly become trendy for males in this century, Joaquin Phoenix displays an assortment of eccentric character qualities. He works in a completely unironic position at beautifulhandwrittenletters.com, at a creative workplace. Theodore writes special occasion letters for the tongue-tied, the incomprehensible, and the illiterate, and his company's cutting-edge software prints out draughts of his dictation that look like they were penned in the traditional sense. Will there soon be a demand for such a specialized premium service? Evidently so, as Theodore maintains a luxurious residence and doesn't seem to be negatively impacted by Catherine's bitter, protracted divorce, Rooney Mara. However, he's still friendly with his ex-girlfriend, Amy Adams. Now we get to see that a unique love tale is built up by the futuristic premise, in which Theo, who is still very hurt and sensitive as a result of the dissolution of his marriage, not the depressed, mopey you a friend tells him in a voicemail, "I miss you, the fun aged you," falls head over heels for his computer's artificially intelligent operating system. The film focuses on Theo's interactions with his OS, which he gives a female voice, rather than the advertisement and apparent high volume of purchases of this product. After introducing herself as Samantha, the female voice, beautifully played by Scarlett Johansson, quickly begins organizing Theo's data, making him smile and exhibiting traits of human cognition. Theo and Samantha's first encounter is where Her delves into its most intriguing and unsettling depths. Samantha can handle data, and a ton of it, much more quickly than Theo, the human, since she is, a computer. She jokingly remarks to Theo, "I can see how the constrained perspective can look to the non-artificial mind." While Samantha's programming is intended to make her likable to Theo, Samantha's adoption of human tics soon causes the operating system to experience emotion or a simulation of it. And while the viewer is enthralled by the quirks and particularities of Theo and Samantha's growing entanglement, he or she is also going through a crash course on the topic of what it means to be human. Theodore is impressed by her psychological ability to learn and grow. They bond through their conversations about love and life, such as Theodore's refusal to sign his divorce papers due to his unwillingness to let go of Catherine. Samantha persuades Theodore to go on a blind date with a woman with whom a friend has been attempting to hook him up. The date goes well, but Theodore is hesitant to commit to seeing her again, so she insults him and departs. Samantha and Theodore discuss relationships after Theodore mentions this. Although Theodore and his neighbor Amy dated briefly in college, they're now simply good friends, and Amy is married. Through a verbal sexual encounter, Theodore and Samantha's connection builds. They form a bond that benefits both Theodore's writing and well-being and Samantha's eagerness to grow and learn. Amy announces that she's divorcing her husband, Charles, following a minor squabble. She discloses to Theodore that she's become close friends with a feminine AI left behind by Charles. Theodore admits to Amy that he's dating the AI of his operating system. Theodore goes to a cafe with Catherine to sign the divorce papers, and he mentions Samantha. But Catherine accuses Theodore of being unable to deal with actual human emotions because he can be romantically attracted to what she refers to as a machine. Her allegations stick with him. Sensing something is wrong, Samantha advises adopting a sex surrogate, Isabella, to simulate Samantha so they can be physically intimate. Theodore grudgingly accepts, but the strangeness of the encounter overwhelms him. He finishes the meeting by sending a sad Isabella away, increasing friction between himself and Samantha. Amy tells Theodore to seize his chance at happiness after he confides in her that he's having questions about his relationship with Samantha. Samantha and Theodore reconcile. Samantha professes her wish to assist Theodore in overcoming his fear and reveals that she has put the best of his letters, written for others, into a book that has been accepted by a publisher. Samantha goes on vacation with Theodore, during which she tells him that she and a group of other AIs have created a hyper-intelligent operating system fashioned after the British philosopher Alan Watts. When Samantha briefly goes offline, Theodore panics. When she finally speaks to him, she says that she joined other AIs for an upgrade that allows them to comprehend information without the use of matter. Theodore asks her whether she's talking to anyone else throughout their chat, and she confirms that she is talking to thousands of individuals, hundreds of whom she has fallen in love with. Theodore is outraged by the concept, but Samantha believes that it simply strengthens her feelings for Theodore. Later, Samantha informs that the AIs are departing, and when Theodore inquires about their destination, she claims she cannot explain because he wouldn't comprehend. They tenderly bid her farewell before she departs. For the first time, Theodore is shown to be changed by the experience, penning a letter in his own voice to his ex-wife, Catherine, expressing apology, acceptance, and appreciation. Theodore then encounters Amy, who's angry at the departure of her ex-AI from her husband's OS. As the film concludes, we see them go to the top of their apartment building and sit there to watch the sunrise over the city. And that concluded this off-the-beat movie that definitely sets us off track for a while. That's all we've got for today, guys. Don't hesitate to like the video and leave a comment telling us how much you enjoyed this movie. Make sure to watch the other exciting movie recaps like the Venom and Jungle Cruise. We'll see you in the following video. Till then, goodbye.